YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on 10 running backs that I believe are great, robust RB strategy guys. So in 2024, if you like drafting running backs early, I got 10 targets for you. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. So, guys, I'm a zero RB guy. I don't usually draft running backs in my first 3 rounds. Sometimes I might go hero RB, and I will be doing a video on that. But usually I'm a zero RB guy. So that means that I'm probably drafting the first running back in the 4th round, 5th round. Now, listen, it's 9 ways to skin a cat. I don't believe zero RB is the only way to win a fantasy football championship. I believe you can win a fantasy football championship going robust RB. You just got to hit on the guy. So if you drafted CMC this year, you had a great plan and it hit. You could have won a championship this year drafting CMC. Me, I drafted Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, guys like that, Amon-Ra St. Brown. If I was like at the end of my 1st round, I didn't really go robust RB. I didn't draft any CMC in redraft leagues. So let's begin, guys. And this is no particular order. You can rank them as time goes on and we get closer to the 2024 season of fantasy. We're going to probably change some of these guys, especially after the draft. So the first guy that I'm drafting, this isn't, like I said, no particular order, and I kind of got him ranked a little bit, but not really, because this can change, guys. But the first guy I believe that is a great, robust RB strategy guy, and these are the guys that you're going to draft in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round. Most likely, probably the 2nd round. These guys are going to be gone by the 2nd round. It's Breach Hall. Now, listen, I didn't draft any Breach Hall last year in redraft leagues, and the reason was he had a knee injury. I don't draft running backs coming off knee injuries, even if they're young. Now, the next year, if they're young, I'm going to go get them. That's why I have Breach Hall as number 1. Now, listen, he might not lead the league in pass receptions like he did as a running back this year because Aaron Rodgers will probably be healthy and they will probably get more weapons and target Garrett Wilson more and also have other weapons at the wide receiver position with having a quarterback that doesn't have to hyper target him every single play. Because down the stretch, I would say that Breach Hall was gaining, 7 or 8 targets a game. Excuse me, guys, my microphone keep falling. Let me fix my microphone. He had a lot of games where he had 8 targets. I don't believe he's necessarily going to get 8 targets a game. It'd be more like 4 going into next year, right? And so I'm still okay with drafting this guy as the number 1 overall pick. He's a young, phenomenal running back that has less mileage than CMC. Now, CMC is on this list, but I'm not taking CMC if I want to go robust RB because you got to go with patterns, right? The world is formed around patterns, just like the stock market. If a guy's been booming and killing it for about 4 or 5 seasons, he's probably not going to keep doing it every single season. So I'm not wishing anything on CMC, but I'd rather go and draft a younger running back like a Breach Hall instead of going with CMC, who's probably on a trajectory to have a nagging injury next year in 2024. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it just tends to happen with running backs. Going on to my number 2 guy, and it is CMC. Yes, guys, CMC. And the reason that I'm willing to go with CMC as a robust RB strategy is, guys, this guy's phenomenal and his team beats with his drum. Like when he's out there, guys, this team is almost unstoppable. CMC can catch passes. He can line up at the receiver position. He can line up at the running back position. He can go wildcat. That's what makes CMC special. Also, CMC, the reason what makes him have a niche and you can draft him next year as the number 1 overall pick, he could go and play the wide receiver position. He's a hybrid. I've been talking about hybrids for about 4 to 5 years now. Nobody else has talked about hybrids. I was talking about hybrids before Debo became a hybrid. It is Tyreek Hill when he played running back as a rookie. I've been one of the few channels on the fantasy football content level that talked about hybrids. I love hybrids because that pushes your career out. That's why Alvin Kamara is going to be able to play until he's 30 because he's just not getting a lot of carries behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting used out in space, unlike a lot of other running backs. So CMC, guys, I think you could take him if you want to go robust RB. Like I said, it's 9 ways to skin a cat. I'm a zero RB guy, but it doesn't mean that robust RB would not be a winning strategy. It does not mean that. It's 9 ways to win a championship. Moving on to my number 3 guy is B. John Robinson. Now, I drafted B. John Robinson in the late first round in a lot of drafts. Did it work out? No, it worked out a little bit. I didn't win a championship in that league that I got B. John Robinson, but I do believe in B. John Robinson. And that's why Arthur Smith got fired, because he wasn't using B. John correctly. Arthur Smith on some weird, I'm going to use a bunch of different guys and trick you. And that's dumb. Like, that's not how. Now, I'm not telling you to run B. John Robinson in the ground for 30 times a game, but this guy got to touch it 20 times, even if it's in the pass game. You just got to use them different. The way CMC is used in San Francisco, they don't run him in the ground, but they make sure that they establish him at the line of scrimmage. And B. John Robinson had a couple games where he didn't have 10 carries or 10 touches. So that's crazy. But I love B. John Robinson. He's great behind the line of scrimmage. He can catch the ball. He can line up at the receiver spot. Linebackers can't guard him. A lot of corners can't even guard him. So this guy's a hybrid. Now, these days, running backs are hybrids. You no longer are going to be a Derrick Henry or O.J. Simpson or Eric Dickerson. You're going to get used out in space. That's just the way the game is played now. So I like B. John Robinson as a robust RB guy that I'm willing to draft in the first round. Next is Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, guys, Jahmyr Gibbs. And the reason why, guys, that I like Jahmyr Gibbs is because I believe he's going to be catching at least 5 or 6 passes for the Detroit Lions going into next year. Now, he's going to do it. I think he's going to have a spectacular playoff game this week, which is, I think, is today. And I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs, guys, could lead the league in receptions as a running back. And I'm not talking about him having over 100 catches, but could he have 80? That's easy, right? Because they need this. They need Jahmyr Gibbs to expand the Detroit offense. The Jameson Williams is not evolved into the player that they thought. Amon-Ra is spectacular on the way to be a Hall of Famer, but they need somebody else. And the only other player that they can rely on right now before the next year, 2024 draft, is Jahmyr Gibbs. So he's spectacular. The only things that worries me about Jahmyr Gibbs is his injury history. I don't know if he's going to be able to play 17 games, but that's okay. I always tell guys that watching my channel that play fantasy football, you don't need a guy to play 17 weeks in order for him to be great. Kyron Williams didn't play 17 weeks, but he still won your fantasy football championship. I'm just worried about the fourth quadrant, which is the last 4 games of your season. I need you to be healthy for my playoffs. I don't need you to be healthy every single game. I don't need a guy to like a CMC. I'm healthy every single game and I give you 30 points. That rarely happens. So a lot of you get frustrated when a running back get hurt and you say you don't want to take him. No, guys, he might get hurt for 7 weeks. It don't matter. When he's out there on the field, is he booming? Is he getting the targets? Is he getting the green zone targets, the honey targets, which you can score from, right? So I love Jahmyr Gibbs. Moving on, guys. And this is a guy that I'm not really taking, but it doesn't mean he's not good. I don't like guys that I know tend to get injuries. And it's Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's been getting 30 carries a game since he's been in high school. He did it. He was he ran like a 10-5, 10-6 in 100 meter in high school, which was phenomenal at 220 pounds. At Wisconsin, he was getting 30 carries a game. Beasting won. I think, was he a Heisman candidate or did he win the Heisman? Now, I think his body is breaking down. He hadn't missed a game his whole career of his life until he got to pros. And so I don't want to take a guy like that and then he go down and I'm like, oh my God, Jonathan Taylor hurt my team. No, I hurt my team. Because sometimes, guys, you can pick a guy you don't have anything to go off of and they get hurt. And that's okay. But if you have any type of stats breakdown to saying a guy can get hurt, he's been hurt in the past, and you pick him, that's why I go zero RB. It's your fault. So I'm not taking CMC because CMC can go down at any time and nobody can blame him. It will not be his fault. It will not make CMC soft. It's part of the NFL game. So I'm not taking these type of running backs, but that doesn't mean that you can't take this guy and he be healthy for 17 weeks and win your championship. That's why I'm making this robust RB video, because it doesn't matter if I'm not going to draft them. It doesn't matter. It's not going that I'm going to be right. It's just I'm playing the numbers, right? I might not buy a penny stock. That doesn't mean the penny stock won't blow up. I'm not a penny stock guy. So Jonathan Taylor, guys, I believe he's a guy that you can take as a robust RB strategy guy in the first or second round. Moving on, my number 6 guy is Kyren Williams. Yes, guys, Kyren Williams. And the reason why I like Kyren Williams, guys, It's because he's on the elite offense. Some running backs are big time spectacular guys, or some running backs are on a great offense and they got a niche. And Kyron Williams can catch the ball. He's a great blocker. He's smart. He's patient, knows runs between the tackles really well. That makes him a good running back for a Sean McVay offense. Now, Sean McVay is not going to run another running back in the ground like he did Todd Gurley. So he will probably draft another guy, but that doesn't mean that Kyron Williams can't eat. That's why I'm not scared of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I want David Montgomery to be there to help Jahmyr Gibbs be healthy for the whole season. Same thing with Kyron Williams. I don't need a running back to be healthy the whole year or get all the carries in order to be a top 5 running back. No, you just need to get the honey touches, catch a lot of passes in PPR, even in half-point PPR, and also get goal line opportunities. And I believe that Kyron Williams will do that. So, guys, I'm taking Kyron Williams. This is an elite offense. All right, moving on. And, guys, if you have any questions about anything for as the games tonight, I'm answering all questions, too. So, but I wanted to do this video for as a robust RB. So, if you got any questions about the playoffs, I got you. You can put anything in the comment section. I will answer your question. Okay. So, let me see here. All right. So, guys, my next running back, number 7 running back, is Rachaad White. Yes, guys, Rachaad White. And the reason why, guys, I like Rachaad White is he's a PPR monster. He's not the best runner between the tackles, but in PPR, this guy could be drafted over guys like a Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry. These type of guys is getting all the workload, but they don't catch passes. Rachaad White's probably going to catch 80 passes like a B. John Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs or even a CMC. So in PPR, this is a top 5 running back. In standard, he's probably a top 12 guy. So I love Rachaad White. They always going to pepper him with targets. And it will be another running back that they draft to help Rachaad White, but it doesn't stop him from getting a lot of catches, which is a PPR. Guys, you got to get used for 2 tandem backfields. Nobody's going to get 100% of the carries. Maybe only 10% of the guys going to get 100% of the carries, and you don't want that. That's hard to trust a guy who's getting 100% of the carries. So I like Rachaad White. Moving on to my number 8 guy is Saquon Barkley. Right. I see that, Isaac. I do like those 2 guys, but those are going to be late round running backs. Those guys can't touch these guys. Now they might outperform them, but I got to give you right now for the where we at in the far as the time frame. I got to give you these guys, but I do like those guys are sleepers. But going on to my next guy, number 8 is Saquon Barkley. Now listen, guys, I love Saquon Barkley. A lot of you think Saquon Barkley had a down year. Saquon Barkley helped me win a couple of fantasy football championships. He wasn't great every week, but he was getting all the work. Now, sometimes he didn't perform. He only had 5 points or 8 points, but I'm okay with that. I don't expect the running back to ball out every week, but this guy can catch passes anywhere on the field. He can line up at wide receiver. He's 220 pounds. He can take 30 carries in a snow game. Very few running backs can take 30 carries in a snow game and also catch the ball for 15 times in a game, like a Breach Hall. Very few running backs can do that. Breach Hall can't line up at receiver. Saquon can play wide receiver like a CMC. Saquon is special, and he's still young. He's going to be like 26, 27. Saquon is not an old guy. He hasn't had a lot of, you think he's had a lot of work, but really he hasn't, right? He's still got about 500 carries left in him in order to be in order to be over the hill, right? He still has a lot of mileage in him. So I'm okay with a Saquon Barkley. Next one, guys, the next running back that I like, you may not agree. I don't know how much work he's going to get, but I got to look at his talent. It is tremendous. And it's Devon Achane. Now, the way they used Devon Achane last night, I thought it was despicable. Now, listen, Raheem Mostert is balled out, and he deserved a lot of opportunities and a lot of carries. But Devon Achane getting only like 6 or 7 carries was despicable. You got to get this guy out in space. I know it was cold, but you got to run some trick plays. You got to do something as a great offensive coordinator that Mike McDaniels is to get these guys opportunities. I didn't care that you lost. I understand it was going to be a tough uphill climb in that cold weather, But what was the double trick? What was the double pass? Like, even you got to try. Even if it doesn't work, you got to try. You can't count on Tua to throw it in windows like he's CJ Stroud. You got to give this team opportunities. Put them on punt return, kick return, double reverse, wildcat. You got to do things. And I don't think they got Devon Achane the ball. I believe Devon Achane is one of the most explosive running backs in the league, especially in this offense with a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle, with those type of speed guys in tandem. It helps open up running lanes. Now, those running lanes couldn't open up last night because they squatted on Tua, and Tua couldn't push the ball downfield because of the weather. Understandable. I wanted to see like some water boy plays. When I say water boy plays, that's one of my reference that I'm going to use. That means, you know how they was running like some trick plays and double reverse and all kinds. You got to do stuff like that when you got speed guys and you playing in a tough weather game. But anyway, I love Devon Achane. He averaged 8 yards per carry on a minimum of 110 carries, maybe. Nobody's really ever done that before. So I like Devon Achane. I believe next year they're going to even uptick his carries. I'm not saying Raheem Mostert's not going to be there, but I believe Devon Achane is going to get more honey touches, and they're going to start having him a spot for this team and having a real role where he can give you boom weeks, where he can give you 30 point, 40 point, 30 point, 40 point, 30 point, 40 points. So I like Devon Achane, guys. Moving on, guys, and I got one bonus guy for you guys. Make sure you watch the whole live. I got a bonus guy for you. The next guy, number 10, is Alvin Kamara. Again, the reason why I will talk about Alvin Kamara and he's in his late 20s is because he hasn't been bell cow. He hasn't had 300 carries in the season. You know what I'm saying? He's had around, I think at the most around like 250, right? And he's been used out in space. I believe Alvin Kamara is going to always be a running back that can catch passes. You remember guys like James White for Tom Brady that was 30 years old and having big time games, or Kevin Falk. These guys, because they wasn't bell cow, they wasn't getting 300 carries per year. 300 carries per year. So Alvin Kamara still got 3 to 4 years left in him in a PPR league setting format, and also just real life NFL. So I like Alvin Kamara. He's always going to be able to catch the ball 6 or 7 times. I remember one week Alvin Kamara had like 13 catches and he had like 18 points and had only like 20 rushing yards. That floor is tremendous. Most running backs, they only have 20 rushing yards, and with no touchdowns, they're going to kill you. Alvin Kamara didn't have no touchdowns, but he caught the ball like 14, 15 times. And that's the kind of low floor and upside that he has that I'm willing to take. All right, guys. Last but not least, running back. This is a bonus guy that I believe that if he goes to the right team, I believe he's still got a great year in him. Not saying he's going to be the number 1, but I think he can be top 12. It's Derrick Henry. Now, imagine Derrick Henry going to the Philadelphia Eagles, where they can sit around instead of running Jalen Hurts, they could give it to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry can still run between the tackles at elite level, maybe not 30 times a game anymore, maybe 15 times and with honey touches. You can't stop Derrick Henry on the goal line with a good team, with a good quarterback. What if he goes to Kansas City? What if he said, well, look, I take $2 million, send me to Kansas City. I take $2 million, let me go to Buffalo. You ain't going to be able to stop Josh Allen and Derrick Henry for the goal line. So I believe this guy could have 15, 16, 17 rushing touchdowns, which would make him a top 12 fantasy football player going into your 2024 season. So I want people to be aware of Derrick Henry. He's not over the hill because he's cherry picking a team. He's going to go to a team where they don't need him to run the ball 20 times, about 12 to 15 touches, maybe more if it's a snow game or a playoff. Y'all remember LeGarrette Blount, where he had like 200 yards in the whole season, where he might have 5 carries. All of a sudden, they went to a snow game, and LeGarrette Blount got like 35 touches with Tom Brady at quarterback and won. He averaged like 200 yards in the playoffs because they was giving it to him like 30 times. But the whole season, he didn't have over 5 carries. That's how you win. That's what great coaches do. You got to shock your game plan. You can't go out there and just do what you do every time. You got to, each week, you got to go in with a different game plan to attack the team weakness. So that's what I believe that Derrick Henry is going to be for some type of upside playoff team. All right, so let me get to the questions, guys, and I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions about today's game or tomorrow's game, just let me know. Just put it in the chat. Dominique, he says, I went running back heavy and won my league last season. Right. And you can do that. I'm a 0 RB guy. I won out of 16 leagues, including Dynasty and Redraft. I went to 5 championships and I won 4. and I didn't take any running backs in the first round. I don't take running backs in the first round. I might have took a couple. Maybe did I take a running back in the second round? I might have took B. John Robinson in a couple leagues, but usually I don't do that. So yeah, bro, great job. You can. I told you, it's 9 ways to win a championship. It's 9 ways to skin a cat. It's 9 ways to do anything. It's 9 ways to become successful. Anything in the world. It ain't one way to do it. Dominique says draft the Eckler, Hall, Taylor, and ETN. Wow. And I can't do that, man. I didn't draft no Eckler at all because I was scared of Eckler. I didn't draft any Hall because I was nervous, and I didn't draft any Taylor. I drafted Taylor one league, but I traded him. ETN had a great year. He balled out early. May have fell off a little bit at the end, but he still had a great year. Isaac says, yo, TD, what's up, bro? Yes, sir. He says Laporta also, right. They're going to have a great team. They got Laporta. Laporta's a really great tight end. They got Amon-Ra. They got Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Jared Goff, one of the best bridge quarterbacks in the league. All you got to do is get a quarterback behind him and let him learn for a couple of years like a Jordan Love. And when he gets his opportunity, he should be good. Right now, Jared Goff is pretty good for this team. Isaac says Jahmyr and Tajay next year. Yes, I like those guys for sleepers. I think I believe that Jahmyr and Tajay could be top 12, top 24 running backs easily. But for this video, they couldn't get in this lineup. But I do like those guys going into next year, especially they don't have that many carries. Jahmyr do got a knee injury that he got in Georgia, but I'm okay with him. So does Tajay. But I'm okay with these guys for a couple years. Dominique says they put A-Chain in bubble wrap. They did, bro. You preaching. You preaching. Isaac says McDaniel let them down. Thank you, bro. He did. Listen, I don't expect them to win that game. I mean, if they win it, they win it. I'm not riding McDaniel because of them losing. Like, bro, what was all those special plays at? Like, where was the water boy plays? You know how they coach when he came out of that little baby stage and he started drawing up crazy ass plays? That's what I always thought of McDaniel, where he had special plays. All I saw was toss left, toss right, crosser, look for Tyreek, look for Waddle. That's all I saw. I didn't see no double reverse, jet sweep. I didn't see nothing. I would have jet sweep Tyreek at least about 5 or 6 times. I'd have put Tyreek at the kick return position, the punt return. And I had a guy that come on. I posted on my Facebook. Guys, make sure you go follow me. My link description is in the description box for my Facebook. But he said, what were they supposed to do? It was cold outside. I was like, okay. I said, I would have put Tyreek at punt return, kick return. He ain't kick return or punt return in 5 years and da. Bruh, this is playoff football. You got to do something different. You can't say, hey, well, listen, Derrick Henry ain't never played quarterback. If I could put Derrick Henry at quarterback and win a playoff game, I'm doing it. I'd do anything. I'd do anything for a playoff win. Especially now, if I got a young quarterback and I don't, and he's a running quarterback, I might not throw him to the wolves his first 2 years. But once he signed that deal, bro, that's why I don't blame Carolina for what they did with Cam Newton. I just think Cam Newton had a window to win because of the way he plays the game. But in the playoff game, you got to let a guy go. So you got to let Tyreek. I would have let Tyreek touch the ball on kick return, punt return. He could have broke one of those plays or just scared the defense or anything. I agree with you, bro. I agree 100%. He says, Green Bay, take the points. Oh, I've been on that. I've been telling y'all all year. I've been saying that. I was talking to my girl earlier, and I'm a Cowboy fan. I said, babe, I got something to tell you. Are you ready? And she was nervous. She didn't know what I was going to say, right? She thought I might say something crazy, right? I said, I won't be upset if Green Bay win the game. I said what I said. I won't be upset. And let me tell you why now. Listen, I love Cowboys, but guys, I am a fantasy football content creator, and I also do content on sports. Guys, that has took all the fandom crazy. Fans is short for fanatic. I'm not a fanatic anymore. I got to scout these guys, and I got to look at their attributes. And that's taken all the fanatic out of me. Now, I love my Cowboys. I'm going to always love Jerry Jones. I'm going to always love Jimmy. Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Charles Haley. I'm for life. I'm gonna die with those guys in my mind as great football players. Even now, CeeDee Lamb, I respect him. I love Dez Bryant. I love Deion Sanders. I love those guys. But I'm not going to sit there, come on, Cowboy, we're going to win this. Listen, I hope if we win it, we do. But Jordan Love is a monster. Christian Watson is a monster. Aaron Jones is balling out of his mind. So I want to see, because I've been telling y'all about Jordan Love and Christian Watson. I was one of the only guys that said Christian Watson was the best wide receiver coming out. Y'all probably still don't believe it. And you won't, when it happened, you're going to skip over and say, yeah, I like Christian Watson. But what about my channel? I've been telling you that for 4 or 5 years, and I got 600 views on it. Now, I might not tell you in an elegant way to make the YouTube algorithm push it. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit there and say it's nobody's fault. But I know I've been on these guys nobody else was on. So I want to see Jordan Love and Christian Watson ball out. Now, if the Cowboys can win it and Jordan Love plays great, yeah. So I'm not a fanatic anymore. I love my Cowboys, but I'm not a fanatic. He says, my guy, you see that Packers upset? I do see a Packers upset today. I do. Jordan Love is balling with, second round, third round wide receivers. Now, look, that could go out there and blow him out. I'm not saying I respect that. He's not one of my favorite players for the Cowboys, but I respect that. But I do see an upset, Commissioner Briggs. What's going on with you, bruh? Happy belated birthday, bruh. I know, don't you got a birthday this week? Happy belated birthday. Travis, what up, bruh? I see you. Kazi says Josh Jacobs could be a value again next season. I agree. All these running backs could be a value. That's why, guys, I'm a 0 RB guy, because you know what? I take any running back. That's why I had Raheem Mostert in the 2 leagues that I won championships in. You know why? Because I was just stashing them. When it comes to running backs, I'm willing to stash any running back. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, beat up with an injury. But I'm not going to take that in the 1st and 2nd and 3rd round. I'm not going to take that in the 1st and 2nd and 3rd round. So that's why I draft late running back, because anybody could be a value. I didn't draft no Josh Jacobs this year, but guess what? Next year I could draft him and he go to the right team, to the Kansas City Chiefs or Buffalo or any team, and end up balling out. That's why we like, why did this guy ball out? And look at Kyron Williams. The only way you knew Kyron Williams was going to do this, you just had to draft him. Didn't nobody draft no Kyron Williams other than his mom and his father and his family to say he was going to be one of the best running backs in the league? The only way you got Kyron Williams, excuse me, guys, only way you got Kyron Williams, you had to believe, you just had to stash him. Draft him at the right ADP. That's what I'm about. That's why running backs, drafting a running back early, it's rough. Because you got guys like Kyron Williams that can come on out of nowhere and be better than the number 1 guy. You don't see that in receivers a lot. You don't see the last wide, like a Puka Nacua. You rarely see a Puka Nacua. That's why he's breaking records. You don't see that. But you see running backs that's been undrafted forever. Terrell Davis, 4th, 5th round pick. Emmitt Smith that ran a 4.6. Now, he was a 1st round pick, but he was he ran a 4.6. Plenty of running backs that go late. Dollar Bill says, Dynasty League, would you trade Tyreek for St. Brown? I have Tyreek. If I trade Tyreek, I want St. Brown in another piece. I don't think it's wrong to trade Tyreek right now. But the only way that you can get value for him, and you don't care if he be the number 1 wide receiver for the next 2 years, you gotta make sure you get your value right now. And this is a good time to trade him if you want to get the best value for him. Me, in some leagues, I'm going down with the ship until he retire, and I have to put him off my team then. I'm not going to trade him in some leagues, but it might be a league where I'm willing to trade him, but I'm going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown and a 1st round pick. And it's got to be a top 5 pick. Like, it can't be no late 1st round pick. It's got to be 2 guys. Like, I would do it for Amon-Ra St. Brown and B. John Robinson, or Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe my preference would be to get 2 wide receivers, like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson. That's what you can get for Tyreek. If nobody wants to do that, then don't give him up. Don't give him up for no chopped liver. Go down with the ship, because you ain't going to do nothing but win championships with him. Every time he's on the field, he's going to get hyper-targeted. Ozzy says you got to go unconventional in the playoffs. There you go. You got to go. You got to do something. Look, who thought the Pat Mahomes then was going to go and throw the ball? I did. I knew Travis Kelce was going to get hyper targeted because that's why they saved him. They want him to get healthy. Everybody, oh, why Travis Kelce getting out? Because they've been waiting for him to get healthy. Hey, Travis Kelce had a great game. I don't care nothing about those drops. I don't care nothing about no cold weather. I mean, it was cold weather. It don't matter. It's about the scheme that you're trying to get to. If they came out there and they did a trick plays and Tua would have threw 3 picks, or Tyreek would have threw a pick with a trick play, or that have blew up one of the guys in the backfield because he was trying to do a flea flicker, I'd have been okay with that. But to go out there and try to toss it left and toss it right because it's cold, nah. Commissioner Bree says Lions about to go on a run. I agree. Guys, put your money on the Lions today. They winning this game. I do think Matthew Stafford do throw for 2 to 3 touchdowns because that secondary weak, but I do believe the Lions win this game. The Lions going to control this game with the run game, and Lions, I think that the Rams will be behind the whole game. I love the Lions. The Lions probably going to the NFC Championship, if you ask me, or they at least going to win this round. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but I love the Lions today. I'm going with the Lions. I agree with you, bro. Isaac says, what's your take on Pollard? Number 2 RB, laugh out loud, can't be a bell cow. Listen, I'm going, for the next year, I draft him at the right ADP and he might boom. We don't know. He could have been hurt this season. Running backs, it changes. So I'm not saying that he ain't no bell cow or what he is. I just think that I'm not taking him early and risking anything on him. When I take him, if he don't do good, I'm okay with it. If he boomed, then I got a great value. That's how I draft. Right? I'm willing to go down with a wide receiver in the first round. Very few running backs. But as far as Pollard, I'm not going to trust him to be a top player for my team. I'm just going to draft him at the right ADP if he falls. Yes, sir, Commissioner Breeze. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting-edge content. Again, if you have any questions about today's game, just let me know. And I'm willing to answer anything that you got today. I should have put that in the inside the title where answering all live questions. I should have put that in there. But I wanted people to be able to click on this for all year. When I'm answering live questions, people don't like to watch content when I'm answering questions and they want to get the top 10 running backs, right? So that's why I made the video title this way. And also, I can chop it down better. Neil, what's up, bro? He says, I'm done with running backs now. They sold me out next year. Wide receivers first. Lamar Jackson sold me too. Right. And I told people, listen, I'm going to tell you something real quick. I'm going to make a video on this. Don't drop your players because they have bad games. I don't know what's going on with my, let me see. Something's going on with my live. There we go. Okay, it's working now. Okay. So, guys, don't get off players just because they have bad starts. That's why I said break the season down into quadrants. If you go look at the 4th quadrant, which is your fantasy football playoff, which is like week 14, 15, 16, 17. 60% of those guys wasn't doing anything in the quadrant 1, which is the first 4 weeks, or even in the quadrant 2, which is the next, which is the next 4 weeks, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not going to draft the guy because you probably won't be able to get him. That's why, guys, the most dangerous team in the fantasy football playoffs are the 6th seed and 5th seed. But me as a 1 seed or a 2 seed, I'm going to keep working the waiver wires just like a 5th seed or a 6th seed will, because I want to be able to pick up a Kyron Williams, a Puka Nacua. I'm trying to think of some guys that started hitting later in the season. Christian Watson helped me win a couple of championships. You know why? He got me the number 1 seed. When he got hot, I played him. And I never dropped him. And I wasn't upset that he had a bad, like you might say, well, he had a bad year. Everybody's not going to be Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill. So some guys you have to rent. And what I mean by rent, they only going to be good for a few weeks, and that's okay. That's a league-winning player. Some of the best league-winning players are only good for 3 weeks. Everybody's not going to ball out for 15, 20, not 15 weeks, but 16, 17 weeks. So Lamar Jackson, I remember a lot of my subscribers, and I have to adjust because I don't want to run y'all away. But a lot of you was like, TD, man, I gotta let Lamar go. And they're like, TD, who you playing? Josh Allen, Lamar. I'm done with Lamar, TD. I said, okay, man, I respect that. You can bench him. I'm playing Lamar. I see people log off, people make comments. And then when Lamar started hitting, they said, well, TD, man, a good call on Lamar. And I'm like, it wasn't a good call. I was going to play him regardless because I'm going down with the shit. Now, I have videos for those type of guys. It's certain guys that I'm going to always tell you, hey, this is my anchor guy, and I'm going down with the shit with him. Lamar is one of those guys. Tyreek Hill is one of those guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of those guys. A few other guys are like that. Kyle Pitts. I played Kyle Pitts in the league every single week. I wasn't going to sit him because if you sit him, that's when they're going to boom. I had a guy tell me, he said, man, I was playing a guy, and he said every time I sit him, he boomed, but every time I played him, he went bad. I said the only way you was going to catch them boom games, you had to play him every single week. Drake London is another guy. I played Drake London every single week. He didn't hurt my team from winning no championship. There's certain weeks that I will bench him. I'm not going to sit there and be disingenuous. There are certain weeks that I will bench a player like a Drake London, but I'm not going to bench him and try, they playing against an easy team, play him, or he playing against a tough team, bench him. No, I don't care who he playing against. If I'm going to play him, I'm going to play him. Now, after 5 or 6 weeks of you not giving me anything and I got somebody to replace you that's been doing good, yeah, but I'm not sitting you just for a guy, I'm sitting him because I don't know, and I'm going to play somebody off the waivers that ain't did shit all year. No. In order for me to sit a stud like a Drake London, you got to be balling. Okay, so let me see, guys. I'm going to get some of these comments. I'm sorry I went on a tangent, bro, but I'm glad you own Lamar. When you play Lamar, you got to keep playing. Sport Dog said TD 100. I'm going with Detroit, hoping Green Bay can pull the upset. But next year's draft will have me drafting first. Never drafted from the one. Any advice for as running backs or wide receivers? So if you're in a non-superflex league, I would go with a wide receiver like a Marvin Harrison, but you talking about redraft. So if you're talking about redraft, go with a wide receiver who's going to get 10 targets a game. So these are, and I did a video on this, but I'm going to give you 5 wide receivers that you choose. The power is yours, that you're going to have to make a decision on. Now, me, next year, guys, my not sleeper, but it's a sleeper number 1 pick, is going to be Jamar Chase. I'm still taking Tyreek Hill in 90% leagues, but a few drafts that I might go off of that would be Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and shit, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You might say, that's crazy. Nope, because he's the most consistent, reliable guy. You need a guy for your number 1 pick who's going to get 12 targets a game. Amon-Ra's getting 12 targets. Now, you can get more upside with like a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, and they're going to get 15 targets a game or 12 targets. So I'm okay with you maybe waiting a little bit on Amon-Ra, but the guy that waits on Amon-Ra probably going to have a better output because of Amon-Ra with his people saying, well, he ain't on number 1, but he's so damn consistent and he might actually outdo a guy like a Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill because to me, he's the most consistent wide receiver in the game that's reliable. But I think you need to take a wide receiver like a Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or CeeDee Lamb. And the reason why I got CeeDee Lamb on this list this year, because Dak Prescott is finally hyper-targeting him. So those are the 5 guys that I would take as my number 1 pick in redraft. He said, TD, it's a 8-team, 6-point PPR league. Yeah, okay. So an 8-team league, bro, and 6-point PPR, I'm probably going Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson. Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson. Okay. Let's see here. Commissioner Berry says, thanks. Anytime, bro. Anytime, man. Congratulations, bro. Hope you have a great weekend, man. You and the family, you have a beautiful family, bro. I respect that to the fullest. Neil says, okay, we did that one already. Commissioner Bree says, your thoughts on Stroud moving forward? He a phenom. Now, listen, yesterday before the game, I said Jordan Love was the best youngest quarterback in the league. CJ Stroud took that over, and there's CJ Stroud and Jordan Love. CJ Stroud is him. He's special. He's a phenom, and he don't need great coaching. I have only seen three quarterbacks in my whole history of watching the game that didn't need great coaching to be great. That's been Dan Marino, John Elway, and CJ Stroud. Jordan Love needed great coaching. Pat Mahomes needed great coaching. Cam Newton was good. Cam Newton, but he can't. I don't think Cam Newton could play. So in a vacuum in 4 years, Cam Newton with those, he's a phenom, but his body got beat down. But right out of those guys, those are the only guys that I've seen that didn't need great coaching. No matter what kind of coaching you put in front of them. I'm not saying they had bad coaching. I'm not saying CJ Stroud got bad coaching, but I believe he don't need nobody to show him how to play the game in an elite way. Andy Reid is big time for Pat Mahomes. He taught Pat Mahomes how to play the game, and he took and ran with it. Look what he did for Donovan McNabb. Andy Reid ain't never coached a bad quarterback because he can't, because he's that good as an offensive coordinator and as a quarterback whisperer. But CJ Stroud got a first-year offensive coordinator, a first-year head coach, and he's killing it. He's killing. He actually better in the pros than he was in college, and he was tremendous in college that last year. So I think CJ Stroud is a phenom. He's on a way to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. I thought Justin Herbert was him. I actually think he probably better than Justin Herbert he was better than Justin Herbert as a rookie. And Justin Herbert had the weakest offensive line in the game and balled out. I believe CJ Stroud passed that. CJ Stroud, because of this playoff run, is the best rookie quarterback of all time. I said what I said. CJ Stroud is the best rookie quarterback of all time. Isaac said Stroud is the new Mahomes. Stroud, Mahomes. He's better than Mahomes for rookie to rookie. Now, he ain't better than Mahomes, I would say, necessarily right now. But CJ Stroud, first 10 games, or let's say 17 games, is better than any quarterback in the history of the game. So he's better than Mahomes right now. If Stroud stay on the trajectory that he is, he's gonna be better than Mahomes. Mahomes didn't win a playoff game his rookie season. He came in late and played a little bit of 2 or 3 games and came in the next year and balled out. CJ Stroud won a playoff game, and he ain't got an elite team like a Tyreek Hill. Nico Collins was a 4th round pick. Travis Kelce was a 2nd round tight end. So CJ Stroud to me right now is better than Pat Mahomes as the first 17, 18 games. Charlene says, did Elliott go back to Dallas? I don't know. I don't know about that. Neil says no to New England. Neil says NFL chance seen the MGM came and this betting app. Okay, NFL chance seen that MGM came and this betting apps. NFL changed since NFL. Okay, since NFL betting. I see what you're saying. That's true. Neil says, I'm serious. Wide receiver guys next year draft wide receivers first. I agree. Listen, but you can draft the running back first and still win your league and it still be a great pick. I'm just going down with the lesser of the two evils, right? I'm not going to say there's two evils, but I'm going down with the ship of drafting wide receivers in a full PPR league. It's just like the NBA. In the NBA, you got to have a great point guard in order to be great. You got to have a great point guard to be great. The game is played through the point guards. The game is played through wide receivers. Now, there's times that running backs will be the dominant player in a playoff game when it's cold. But 9 times out of 10, a wide receiver is going to get 12 targets a game, and it's hard to stop a wide receiver when he's getting 12 targets a game and you can't touch him out to 5 yards. Isaac says, still Tyreek, number 1, he going to have Tua. The other guys have questions. I agree with that. I don't think Amara got any questions, but Jamar Chase don't. I love Jamar Chase. That's a stack that I'm going for. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase next year. That is one of my optimal stacks. But yes, I understand Tyreek and Tua. I'm picking Tyreek number 1 overall pick in 90% of my leagues. But when I do pivot, it's probably going to be Jamar Chase. I see you, Stacy. I see you. Appreciate you. Isaac says Peyton Manning. Yeah, Peyton Manning threw 20 picks his first year. CJ Stroud ain't got 20 picks. He's outplaying Peyton Manning too. He's outplaying Peyton Manning too. If that's what you mean. Right. The sheriff. Yep. But he ain't up there. Peyton Manning struggled his rookie year. John Elway and Cam Newton. Let me see if there's anybody else. These guys played great as a rookie. Peyton Manning was a good rookie, but it wasn't for stats. It wasn't. He was developing great as a rookie. Second take. What's up, bro? Yes, sir. Good luck to you too. He says, "How about them Cowboys?" You're right. I like them Cowboys, but we better come to play today because Green Bay is ready to play. Green Bay is ready to play. Dollar Bill says, "What you know about Marino?" Laugh at. How are you, TD? I'm 45. I know about Marino. And listen, I'm a connoisseur, bro. I'm younger than you. I'm 37. I just turned 37 in December. But guys, I'm telling you, I digest the game. I consume the game like no other. That's why I can do fantasy football content. I don't break the game. Now, I'm not like a Schwab, like I know all the stats, but I watch the game in a talented way, like looking for talent. Dan Marino arm talent, bro. Woo! Now listen, Dan Marino still got the best arm talent. I'm not gonna say CJ Stroud got better arm talent, but all around he outperformed Dan Marino as a rookie. I say that. But Dan Marino had a tougher. Also, Dan Marino, man, had a tougher. The NFL was tougher then. You could hit quarterbacks and drop them on their head, and the receivers you could bump around them for 10 yards. So it could be Dan Marino. Dan Marino is special. If Dan Marino would have played for the Dallas Cowboys or somebody like that, that man had 6-7 rings. He was special. But I watched a lot of, especially when he was at Pittsburgh in college. I watched him, man. The ball came out his arm like that. Bam, 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 bam. Isaac says, "I meant Peyton didn't need a coach." Okay, he was the coach. No, you're right, bro. He didn't. He didn't need a coach like that. I agree with that. He didn't, man. He called his own plays. I agree with that. Even as a rookie, he was going to be great regardless. You know, to get off topic a little bit, I would have loved to see his nephew. I think it's his nephew. No, it's his son, Archie Jr. I'd have loved to see Archie go to the Michigan Wolverines. The reason why Michigan has a professional team, then they're not going to throw the ball for 5,000 yards. So maybe little Archie wanted to have the stats, but I thought he would have been great for Michigan this year as a rookie. I mean, as a freshman. But maybe he didn't want to go there. Charlene says, "In my draft last year, I picked a wide receiver, Jefferson. Second pick was a quarterback. Yep. Third pick, Keenan Allen. Fourth pick, Montgomery. Yep. That's 0 RB all day. I love it. I went 6-0, lost 2, and then won 6 straight to be 12-2 in the regular season. Yep. That's a great strategy. You got Justin Jefferson, and you had great people to back him up, even though he went down after 5 or 6 weeks. Great strategy." Dollar Bill says, "If Marino played today, he would lead all quarterbacks in stats. Same with Warren Moon." You know what, bro? I'm not going to debate that. You're exactly right. Warren Moon was special. He got treated, and I'm not going to get into that. We know why he got treated bad. And I believe Marino would be a monster. If you couldn't touch Marino in the pocket like you can't touch each quarterback, he would be a monster. So I agree 100% with that. Okay, so it is his nephew. Okay, I wasn't sure. So it is his nephew. I thought he should have went to Michigan, but that's just me being a cherry picking a guy. That's not me saying that he made a mistake. I just love to see them in a professional style offense. If I'm Michigan, that's the only thing that they need. They need a professional style quarterback for that system, where when they gotta throw the ball, they can. All right, guys. So I guess we're gonna get ready for these games. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got in here. Let's see how many likes we got in here. Come on, guys. We got 20 people in the chat, and we only got 7 likes, guys. Come on now. Hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. I'm not begging for no likes. It's just part of I'm delivering content. And I know the content is good. So let me get the likes. B Silver says Brandon Cooks is over or under 0.5 receiving touchdown. He's not going to be on Jari Alexander. Jari Alexander is not going to be on him, I would say. I like Brandon Cooks to have a good game. That's how I see the scheme. I'm trying to play smoke and mirrors with my number 1 wide receiver and get you to shade your safety over. And I want to hit you with my number 2 wide receiver who's good, who's a PPR guy. And I believe that Cooks could have a touchdown and maybe have 7 or 8 catches. I believe that. So I like Cooks this game. Do I know about the touchdowns? I don't know, bro. That's why I don't like betting on touchdowns. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I don't. It's too volatile. But I don't think it's a bad bet. I think it's actually a good bet. Isaac says Michigan quarterback is not that good. I agree. But he played on a team where they had a strong run game with great coaching. Let me see this. Let me see if we got the likes up. Yeah, guys, we got 11 likes. We got 14 people in here. Let's get the likes up. Yeah, I heard he's coming out. I don't know why he's coming out. Now listen, he might develop. You remember Tom Brady developed into a great quarterback. So I'm not saying McCarthy can't develop into a good quarterback, because people develop. Some guys can develop very late in life and turn out to be really great at what they're doing. Rappers, there's some rappers, they 33, 34, and they become great rappers at that age instead of being a phenom like a Tupac at 18, 17 years old, where they always could rap. So guys develop at different stages. So I'm not saying it's over for them. I just think that I would have rather have a guy like I would have tried to get Little Archie. Let's see how many likes we got in here. We got 12 likes. All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. We're going to watch this game. Make sure, guys, y'all be watching for more content and more lives, more top 5, top 10 guys that I'm targeting in 2024, or guys that I'm not targeting. I'm going to do a list for running backs that now, I'm not going to really do one on running back because I take any running back. When you can call me I'm trying to be YouTube friendly, but you can call me I'm hard up for running backs in the later rounds. Pause. That means I draft any running back. I'm easy when it comes to running backs, right? I'm willing to draft any running back late. I don't care what you've been through, because guys can win you weeks. Guys could go on 5-6 game trend and ball out for you, and everybody thought he sucked. Tony Pollard could be the number 1 RB next year. It's just how fantasy goes. It's cold in Texas. Wow. Hey, it's a weather shift. The world is changing. It's changing. The axis is changing. The equator, I think the equator has moved. People don't want to say that. I think the equator moves. I think that's what happened. I wouldn't say millions of years ago, but I would say maybe 500,000 years ago. I think that's what happened. That's why the Antarctica probably used to be a warm climate place. And I believe that the equator line changed. And now it came Antarctica instead of a certain place, right? So, yeah, I don't want to get into that, but there's just some of my beliefs. So the world is changing. It's getting warmer in certain parts that it used to be cold, and vice versa. All right, guys, y'all be safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace. This is Mother Nature. Mother Nature is resetting. So I agree 100%, bro. Yes, sir.
Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say this shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they tryna finish me, but it just turn me up. Turn me up, Jay. Fresh to death on camouflage. Gotta keep a foot up on their necks, cause they might sabotage. I ain't come for peace, I brought the mask, bout to terrorize. Step. If you a hating nigga, keep that bullshit to yourself. Get my bop on you niggas. Don't never question if I'm a real nigga. I get a lot for you niggas. Bitch, they thought I was finished, but I got a lot for you niggas. Lil John on them niggas. I'm the